Hello everyone, welcome to another installment of Erin's Book Club. I have had a very busy day, but in between my busy day I was able to get another book read. So I would like to do a review now on Anne McCaffrey's and Todd McCaffrey's Dragon Harper. Um, it it was a book that I really enjoyed. It's hard to describe because all the other books we kind of got into it right away. The story took you right to the end. The end kind of kept you fascinated all the way through. This one was a bit different because we got into it okay, but it took a while for the story to actually begin, and it kind of lingered out longer than expected. I wasn't as impressed with this book as I am with all of the others. It was still a really good read. I still really enjoyed it. I just wasn't as impressed. Um, it, I don't know. I guess maybe it took a long time for me to be introduced to the characters. And it was funny because in the last book review, remember I complained about one of the characters bonding with a dragon and we never got to read about it or hear about it. And I felt a bit cheated because the book didn't have any bonding in it except for with the watchwear. This one, we had the bonding with the dragon, but then we didn't hear anything else about that character. So it was almost like they threw it into the beginning as a I'm sorry we didn't add this, and then here, now you have it, now shut up about it kind of thing. So that was kind of different. It basically had the concept of the Spanish, you remember when the Spanish flu hit, or when we got like SARS and that kind of thing? That kind of flu hit the dragon riders and the people of Pern, and it was basically the story on how they struggled to get through it, and there was a lot of death, and some of the death was believable, some of the death really wasn't, and one of the main characters' death, which was the love interest of the other main character, it's almost like we were described this character basically so that we could get attached, so that it would be more when she died. Like you almost knew something was going to happen to this character as you got introduced to her, which was a bit of a shame that way. But there was still the emotional parts that I like of the Dragon Riders of Pern, especially near the end. And having the characters move from book to book to book was really enjoyable. I did enjoy the book. I did enjoy the story. I just think it was a bit subpar from what the other books were. Now, I don't know if that's because it was written with Anne and Todd. I'm not entirely sure that's the case because the first two books that they wrote together I thought was really, really well done. I don't know. It's a conflicting story for me. I think I would like more into the dragons. I don't know. I don't know why it didn't draw me in. I was able to read it quickly, so it's not like it wasn't a good story. It just wasn't like the normal Dragon Riders Pern. So let me read the back of it so you understand what it's about, and then maybe you guys can make your own decision as to if you want to read it or not. Okay. For millions of readers the world over, the name Pern is magical, conjuring up grand vistas of a distant planet whose blue skies are patrolled by brave dragons and their noble riders. A paradise threatened by the periodic fall of deadly thread. But not all dangers descends from the sky. Now, in their third collaboration, Anne McCaffrey and her son Todd McCaffrey spin a tale of a mysterious illness that may succeed in doing what centuries of threadfall could not: kill every last human on Pern. Life in the Harper Hall is busy for best friends Kindin, Nanala, and Kelsa, the only female apprentices. Nanala and Kelsa are the butt of jokes and easy targets for the bully Vaxarum and his cronies. But when Kindin springs to Kelsa's defense, he winds up in a fight for his life against the older, bigger Vaxarum. A fight that will lead to a surprising friendship. Meanwhile, in the nearby Fort Hold, a clutch of fire lizard eggs is about to hatch, and Lord Bemin's beautiful young daughter, Corianda, is determined to impress one of the delightful creatures. At hatching, Kindin impresses a fire lizard of his own and wins the heart of Corianda. But Lord Benin mistrusts Harper's and will not hear of a match between his daughter and a low-born Kindin. Then fate intervenes in the form of a virulent plague that is fast-spreading, and it is deadly. Arising suddenly, as if out of nowhere, the contagion decimates hold after hold, paying no heed to its distinctions of birth. In its feverish crucible, friendship and love will be tested to the breaking point and beyond. For with Threadfall scant years away, the dragon riders dare not expose themselves to infection, and it would fall to Kindon and his fellow apprentices to bravely search for a cure and save humanity. The price of failure is unthinkable, but the price of success may be even harder to bear. So, the written part of it, the synopsis of the book, is very intriguing, and you want to get into it. It just doesn't seem to flow very well. It's almost like they've mashed 3 books into one. I think that if we had more of the symptoms of the disease and not just, okay, this is the flu and this is what's hitting it and now we've got to deal with it. If we had more of description of the symptoms of the early attacks of that kind of thing, I think that would be a little more enjoyable. It may be because Kindon doesn't know that, so why are we supposed to know that? I don't know. All in all, it was an interesting book, but I don't think it was one of my favorite Pern books. So, I guess Anne McCaffrey's Dragon Harper and Todd McCaffrey's Dragon Harper, a good read, but not comparable to the others in the series. So I've got another chapter of my palate cleansing book to read, and then I will get to the next book. So I will let you guys know when I have another book read. Thanks so much for listening.